Now let's go back to our text, analyzing this verb etheka. Is there an augment? Yes, there is. So what's the first thing we write down? Indicative. Why? Because the augment shows past time. And only in the indicative is time an element. And that limits us to one of three tenses, which can show past time, the imperfect, the aorist, or the pluperfect. Forget pluperfect. Now let's go to the back part of the verb and identify our ending alpha. In the alpha endings, an alpha is a first singular ending, and it is an active ending. Then we see we have a kappa tense indicator. Oh dear, what's happening here? I thought that we had already reduced this to being either an imperfect or an aorist. So why do we have a kappa tense indicator? Well, remember, there are 4 verbs in the New Testament, 3 Italians and an Egyptian, that have a kappa for some of their aorist forms instead of a sigma. Those verbs are didomi, which means I give, tithemi, which means I put or place, compound forms of hiemi. And now you know what a compound verb is. It's where we have a prepositional prefix attached to the verb. A good example of a compound of hiemi is the verb aphiemi. And aphiemi means I forgive. And then our 4th verb that can take a kappa instead of a sigma for some of its aorist forms is pharaoh. So 3 Italians, didomi, tithemi, compounds of hiemi, and pharaoh. Okay, these little things sometimes make it easy to remember. So as we go back and analyze the verb that we've been looking at in our text, we see that this verb etheka actually has a kappa tense indicator, meaning that it is aorist. So the parsing of this verb etheka would be aorist, active, indicative, first singular. And the parsing of the verb in front of it, exelexamen, is aorist, deponent, or you could say middle if you wanted to, indicative, first singular. Okay, we have our 2 verbs. After we have analyzed our verb, what do we look for next? We look to see if the subject is further expressed. And if this verb is a first singular verb, there is only one word that could be the subject if it is further expressed. And what word would that be? Ego, right, the word that means I. And here it is, ego, common, singular, nominative, and that would be the subject. The word Allah, by the way, is a word that means but, or rather, or on the contrary. So what we are saying so far then is, but I have chosen, and then look at the word humas. Humas is a second personal pronoun, parsed, common, plural, accusative. And what would be the accusative case function here? Answering the question what or whom. It would be the direct object, wouldn't it? But I have chosen you. And, the word kai means and I have placed. The verb tithemi means to place or put. And I have placed you. Again, this word humas, common plural accusative, would also be the direct object here, wouldn't it?